Right, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing well. This week, it's been a bit of a strange week. I went back to the job, the bathroom job, where we had the bath wedged in the corner and a shower butted up to the side of it that the interior designers designed, and the customer was happy with it. And I basically said, I don't think it's going to work. It's not going to look great. That has now been tiled. So I went back this week and began second fixing it, getting the shower on, getting the hot and colds connected into the circuit. So you'll have a look and just see what you think. I still don't think it looks great, but yeah, what do I know? I only fit them, you know, all year round. What do us as plumbers do? I gave my advice on it. I told the customer what I thought to the design of it, but hey ho, they've gone with that. So we've done that. And I also went to a job for a customer of mine, a lady I've known for years and years. And she's been through the mill a little bit with various things, and she wanted some radiators replacing, which we went and done. But the problem is she got second-hand radiators and they were missing bits, and the job sort of took a bit of a turn. So we've got that in this video as well. I'm just conscious of saying too much now after what we said a few weeks ago. My intro is giving too much away. Don't want to waffle on too much. Let me think. No, that's it. Right, hope you enjoy the video. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're nearly at 20,000. We're pushing really well. I've had a big influx of subscribers, so thank you. Appreciate all the new subscribers to the channel. And yeah, I think we're on track for the 20,000 by the end of the year. So get on with the video. I'll shut up and I'll catch you soon. So we are back at the house with the bathroom that divided a lot of people's opinions. I'm not 100% feeling this bathroom, and a lot of you commented the same as well. Just the layout of it just doesn't seem to work. But now it's been tiled, I'll spin the camera around and show you what we're dealing with. So this was, just as a recap, this is a fairly large bathroom that's been formed. Now, my initial idea, they've had an interior designer in to design all this, who charge the earth and are meant to know what looks good and what don't. Now, I personally think this looks crap, but the customer okayed it. So obviously we've got the shower there, the bath there. My sort of idea, my view of it was the bath should have gone along there, maybe a P-shaped bath, shower that end, left a big space here, toilet there, basin there. Would have left a really nice sized bathroom, but the customer wanted a bath there, shower there, toilet there, basin there. So what we're going to do, obviously we've got a window here, so we're just going to have a screen to sort of this point here, so you can just walk into the shower. At the front of the bath, obviously tiled, planning on having access from the rear, but that's another story. So we're going to have to silicone down there, obviously silicone it all in so it's sealed that end. The bath fills from there, you've got the tap there, so that's alright. And then obviously the toilet there and the basin there, which isn't a problem. Now they're having an electric towel rail in here, God only knows why. Interior designers for you. But yeah, that's what it looks like now. Now it's been completely tiled. We just got here today, so we're going to get the shower on, get the riser on, get the tap on. The telltale sign the electricians arrived on the job. There's a Vito Pro Pack appeared on the floor. I've got the plate and the tap head on. That's just basically a case of sliding it on and bolting that on. That's not a problem. So we've come to do the shower. Now, as a lot of you will probably know, showers nowadays come with these horrific, horrible fittings that nobody uses anymore. Well, I don't think I've used them in about 10 years. We use the fast kits because they're a lot better, a lot sturdier, a lot easier to fit. So it's a case of obviously sliding them over the pipes like so, and then always put your nut and olive on. Always screw it into position, just loose without bolting it up, and mark the front of the pipe like so. And then when you take it off, and push that back like so. You can see where the front of your actual fitting is, coming a couple of mil in, and then you know you can cut that and you've got a little bit of play on that pipe if you need it. So we'll get those two done, and then we'll get the back plates bolted onto the wall, screwed onto the wall, get the copper pipe cut, shower on, then the riser, head set to exactly the right height, and then that will be the shower done. Then once that's on, it's fairly straightforward. You've just got to wait for the screen to be delivered out. Then that'll be that done, that done. We can look at sealing it all in, then we're waiting for the toilet and the basin. So that's those brackets now bolted onto the wall. We've got them screwed in, got the olives ready to go. We'll put a bit of paste on them, a little bit of insurance on them, bit of paste, just to be safe, because you don't want just a little annoying little dribble coming off it. So that's on there, and then get the two front nuts like so, like so. And then what I always do with these is hold a pair of grips against that, and then get my adjustables on there, tighten them up, pulling against the actual bracket that's on the wall, just so it stops putting any stress on them two screws there. Get them tightened up, and then we can get the body of the shower on there, and then get the riser fixed with the rainfall head on the top. That's it, the shower's on, in position, body's connected on, got the riser on, body one riser's there and the rainfall head there. Now, I'm not overly impressed with this shower. I don't know if it's going to pick it up. I don't know if you can hear that. It's just a tiny, tiny amount of movement where this riser goes into this bracket. I might see if we can just put something in there. Usually they come with like a rubber seal on the inside, but there's nothing. And also, this is really not good. If you look at this here, where it bolts into the riser, the amount of movement on that, that's tight, that's all tight, but where it goes into this, the movement is massive on it. Really, really odd. So we'll get the water onto this shortly. We've got to connect up. I'm going to connect up the hot and colds in the other bedroom shortly. Yeah, that's all in, but I'm not overly impressed with it, to be honest. But we shall see what it's like. So this is where we're connecting in these hot and colds. They go under the floor here, through that wall, or through the floor underneath that wall into that bathroom that's the other side of there. We're going to be connecting them on to these two feeds here. Now, this house has got a tendency for having cross taps, i.e. hot on the right, cold on the left, at random points around the house. So what I'm going to do is grab the bucket, grab the flexi, just going to connect the flexi onto here, open this up just to see which is hot and which is cold. And when we've worked that out, as always, get them marked up there. I've already drilled through the joist. We'll take the plastic through, connect on to there, then that'll make the whole of the bathroom live, and we can test the shower. Or at least pull some water through the shower. I don't want to test it yet because the tray's not been completely sealed in, so we just pull a bit of water off into a bucket. So what I'll do is just connect this onto there. I'm assuming, I know I should never assume, but I'm assuming that is going to be the hot as it is on the left hand side. So right, so let's see if this one is going to pull off on the hot water. Yeah, that's alright. Spot on. So, we know that's alright. I thought it would have been, but I just wanted to double check. It's always best, as we know, to double check stuff. So, we'll mark on here, H for hot, obviously, C for cold, and then we'll cut there, connect in the 15mm. Which will then cause that bathroom to become live. Right, I've just been and turned the water off. We've opened these two up. We've opened the taps up in the little bathroom around the corner there. So what we'll do, we'll cut this here, take these pipes out and put two elbows on the end, which will then connect it back into this hot and cold loop. So there we go, got that connecting to the hot, that one connecting to the cold. But yeah, if you look at the thickness of the walls of that copper pipe, it is a proper thick old school copper. Don't make it as thick as that anymore. So also in the other room we've got these two hot and colds, and we had a waste pipe here which is probably 1.25 inch copper waste pipe. Where it come out the top it was in plastic, so we'll put a couple of caps on there, and what I'm going to do with this is cut this nut and olive off, put this coupler back on there, and just put a rod and eye cap in the end, just in case ever they need to reuse that for whatever reason. Services are there. So we'll do that, get them capped off and get the water back on. Right, so we've got the water back on now, and as we said before, this valve was connected up before the tiling went on, and we connected the bath, and obviously they've tiled the front of it, so there's no way of checking that it's alright, but this is what comes down to the confidence of your work. I think it's fine, it should be fine. So we'll get the water on. Basically just run it up. The waste's connected under the bath, and it's down underneath in the utility and going into the stack. This is one of them ones that fills up through here. I'm not overly keen on them, to be honest, but that's what the customer wanted. Charlie, got no leaks down there, have you? No. Not getting wet down there? It's not a massive flow rate either through it, because obviously off the back of here it's just a 15mm braided hose, and then you connect onto the valve. Hot and cold go to your valve, comes off your valve down into the back there. But we'll fill the bath up, drop it out, fill it up again, and if you look at the video prior to this one, you'll see that I've battened around this bath, so it's got wooden battens under the corner, so it's not going to drop up and down anyway. So that's our bath all filled up. What we'll do, we'll empty it now just to make sure all the wastes and everything are fine. Even though we can't see it, we'll still know below, because below is the utility, we'll still see if there's an issue. It will show itself down there. Look, Sparky's in the way. Look, turn my back for 2 seconds. Sparky's got his ladders in here, banging lights in for fun. So yeah, we'll empty this out. What I will do though, I think, is speak to Scott the builder, because I want access really behind that bath. So as I said in the previous video, he's in here now. As I said in this previous video, I wanted a sort of an access behind there. It's going to be a cupboard, it's not going to be a problem, so what I might do is just say to him, can we put an access in there just so I can check 100% behind that all is good. But as it is at the minute, seems okay. So yesterday was a bit of a, not a waste of a day, because we got some bits done. We got the bath up and running, we got the shower on the wall, we got the water connected, the hot and colds connected into that job. But I was just a little bit, I thought there was going to be everything there to have 2 days on that job, getting a real good crack into it. And as you'll know, if you're in the trade watching this, sometimes you want to get onto a job and know that you're there for a couple of days and can really get on with it. I wasn't aware that there was no basin, there was no vanity unit, there was no toilet on site, there was no cistern on site, the screen wasn't on site. So it just I sort of stepped away from it today. I should have been back there today, stepped away from it and said, look, let me know when everything's on site, because I've got other stuff to do. Also, we've got to cut into the heating pipes, which I didn't want to do tail end of the day yesterday, because we all know cutting into heating pipes, especially on a job like that, is quite big, and I'm going to have to drain a lot of the system down if I don't freeze it, which I might do actually to make life a lot easier. We'll see. So that has freed me up this morning to get some quoting done. I've got an ensuite here in front of me that I've been quoting, that I can get over to the customer. So even though this morning I've not earned any money, you still got to do the paperwork and the quoting side of stuff, as we all know. Also, I've had 8 jobs come in the last sort of 24 hours. Little jobs, little jobbing around jobs that I've got to get back to them, ring them back and get them booked in. So I'll be doing that as well. Anyway, we should be back on that bathroom later on in the week when all the stuff's arrived. I've said to Scott, when everything's on site, let me know and I'll get back to it. Right, so today we've got a fairly typical plumbing and heating engineer's job, and that is changing radiators. We're at this customer's house. She wants this one changed because we've got a bit of a leak on the bottom of it there. It's corroding through. So we've got this one to change, this one over in the corner to change. We're going to have to alter the pipes on them. And then there's 2 upstairs. Well, there's 1 upstairs and a towel rail, and also we've got Ben, my gas engineer, coming out to service the boiler. So first thing we're going to do, while I wait for Ben to come out, I'm going to get this rad off, that rad over there off, and basically get them out of position because we've got the new ones going on. This one is at the minute a 900. I think she's got an 800 going in because she's picked up just a few rads to replace the ones we got. So this bigger one, I think it's 1100, that's going in here, so we're going to have to alter the pipe work coming out the floor for that. And that one is going over in the corner. We've got that one to go upstairs, and in the bathroom she's got a normal white radiator, but we're going to swap it for that chrome towel rail. And what they used to do back in the day, which is quite handy on a job like this, is a little external drain tap. Now hopefully that's not sealed shut. We have it on good authority. It's not, but you never know. You go to do it and it's stuck, but we'll see. If not, we'll have to drain it from a rad. But we don't need to do that just yet because, as I say, Ben's coming out to service the boiler. He'll need the heating filled up, but we can whip off these 2 rads and begin getting the new ones into position. So with this rad being this low to the floor, I usually keep a load of little thin tubs in the van, as probably every plumber does. A little, you know, little thin takeaway tubs. Had them in the van, put some stuff on them and cracked them, so they're no good. But we use the wet vac, so we just crack this nut off the side. Leave that one there for the moment, open the air vent, which is that side, and then we'll just suck it out with the aquavac, get all the water out of this, and then we can get this rad off, and we'll do the same with the one over there, and then we'll see what we're dealing with, because we may have to reuse the brackets from these rads, because I don't think these ones have got any, but we'll get it off and see what we're up against. So that's that radiator off there. And we've just taken this one off here. You always find behind like this, there's big gaps in the brickwork and whatnot. I've showed the customer, but there's not a lot we can do about that. We're gonna have to get the new one on. So the customer supplied these radiators. They haven't come with brackets. So what I've done with these, the old brackets are a lot taller than what needs to go on here. So I've measured them, keep the bottom one and cut the top off and just cut the little slit into the top of it, and it fits onto the new rad perfectly. I always find fitting, I have got some universal rad brackets, but I just find them such a pain to fit. I always find doing it that way, if need be, is a lot easier. So we'll get this one on. It's not quite as wide as the other one was, so we will have to alter the pipe work going in, but we'll get this one on, get that one on over there. Ben has just arrived, he's upstairs servicing the boiler. We've got a rad to change up there, and we've also got the Magna Clean to fit on. When he's finished, we can drain the whole system down completely then. Right, we've got the heating system draining down now. Ben's just been serviced the boiler, so I left it all filled up for him, obviously, as he's servicing it. She's just gone, so we'll drop the system out, which is quite handy as well, in that drain plug underneath the floor, because they're so low down. So we'll get all that completely drained out. We can connect that rad up. We can also then cut the pipes off for these, get this rad hung on this wall and connect this one up. And then upstairs, this rad to swap out. Got a Magna Clean to go. This is the return. That's the return pipe off the bottom of this Wiesmann. So what we're going to do, we're going to remove this shaft and just pop it in there. So that'll be straightforward enough. And then switch that out for a towel rail. We've just re-silicon around the bath as well, because the customer wanted that doing. So we should have, yeah, pressure's gone out this boiler now. So we'll pop downstairs, open these valves up, let the water drain out, open the vents upstairs and get it drained down. this is the new second-hand rad the customer's got, and we've put it equal to where she wanted it. We just got to put 2 little sets on either side, just because it's 100mm shorter than what the other one was. Yes, we could have put extensions on before anyone says it, but she just wanted it like that, with a little set on each of the tails coming out the floor, just to make it look a little bit better than having a massive load of extension bars along there. So we'll get this one done now the system's drained down, and we'll get then over to the other one that's over there, and then the same above in that bedroom. We've got to alter the pipes a little bit. Or is that one? That one might be a perfect swap, the same size, apparently. Then we've got the towel rail to do in the bathroom, and then fit the Magna Cleanse unit on. Right, I've just come to put a little kick on that, a little sweat bend on that with a bender, and it's that awkward gap that's just too short to be able to get it, and too long that the bends just don't work. So I'm going to have to come off elbow there and elbow there into the bottom of the valve. It's not going to look great, but the customer knows that, you know, it is what it is for the case of having another rad there. It was either extensions or that way. So we've gone that way, which isn't great, but it's serving a purpose. Function over form, they say. So I'm just sat in the van. It is now Thursday morning. It's the day after what I will have shown the start of doing them radiators on that job. Now, that job was for a customer of mine. She'd got some second-hand radiators to fit. That's what I went there to fit. I went and looked at that job before doing it, and she said she got some new second-hand radiators, so I was assuming they were new, not been fitted. Anyway, got there yesterday to do it, and there was no brackets to the rads, and she didn't have new thermostatic valves or lock shield valves to go onto it. She wanted to reuse the old ones, and so I took the original rads off, as you'll have seen, and I went to put the new rads on while Ben was doing the boiler before I drained it down. And she didn't have any brackets, so I had to make brackets. Then when I come to fit them, the fixings in the walls, every time you drill a hole, the wall just fell apart, really soft walls, and it just began to really piss me off during the whole day. You know, no fault on anyone's, just one of them jobs that really gets you and you just want to get it done, and everything you do, there's an issue with it. You go to drill a hole and it ends up with a hole that fucking big, and you have to ram it full of raw plugs or find a bigger raw plug in the van or whatever. So I ended up not filming the rest of the day because I just wanted to get it done. When you're filming stuff for YouTube, it doesn't take a massive amount of time, you know, maybe another few minutes onto a job, but you're sort of filming every sort of process along the way, and we cut and edit out what bits that we don't want to use and stuff like that. So I just stopped in the end and just got the job done. So I apologise for not finishing the end of filming that job, but I just wanted to get it done and dusted. And then I got home last night and it felt like one of them days, you know, like you'd fucking worked your arse off and you're just absolutely shattered. That was one of them jobs yesterday. But mindset wise, I always think on them jobs, you know, when everything's going wrong, just think of them jobs that you got there, everything went right, you was in, out, done, piece of piss. I kept thinking that yesterday, but it didn't help. It was just one of them really annoying jobs. But onwards and upwards.